There it is. Charles coming up. Okay. Can money bring you happiness? Infinite happiness? I don't know. That's the question. Some people say it will. Some people say it won't. Some people say it will because maybe you don't have anything and money would make you happier. But in the long term, in the end, will it make you enjoy your life? Will it be enough to satisfy you? Who knows? Life in prison for Carmelo Anthony. Why you say life in prison for Carmelo? Nice and easy. Why you say life in prison for Carmelo? I want to know. I want to know. What's up?
Yeah, man, hold on. It's dark as hell in here, man. My bad.
You good? What's going on, Charles?
Man, nothing much, my guy. We're gonna come sit in here, me and my I told you my old lady had just came back from South Korea, so uh,
She in the
they
army?
kicking it with her tough. So told you I jump on once she get back, my boy.
Oh yeah, she in the service or something like that.
Oh no, man, she just really into Asian culture. And I'm talking about
Oh okay.
my old
She what?
girl.
She like anime and stuff.
No, she really like K-pop and
Mm.
she like food, so she loved going to Asian places. So she was like, well, she wanted to go to South Korea, so she went over there for a week. So,
Okay. Why you didn't go?
well, it's a long story, but we weren't talking when she made this trip plan. She
Oh
made a
okay.
trip plan with her brother, and her
Mm.
brother ended up flaking on her at the last minute. So she ended up just going by herself.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna go anyway because I really ain't
You ain't into that?
nah, no, man. I like okay, so y'all, I'm big like this. People say that the United States is so bad, but it's the best place for black people. At least that's my
I
thoughts.
agree.
So I don't want to go somewhere where I'm viewed as a pariah or people are just kind of looking at me like I'm a novelty or anything like that. Uh, so I'm a United States person. Like I don't plan on going out of the country unless I really have to. And me and her might do something next year. Uh, but if I have a choice, I'm not gonna do it.
I agree. I agree with you. I think it's the best place. Like we got everything here that a lot of countries claim that they have, but it's not the same. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I've been over to some of these places, but what I've heard from other people, it's not what it's cracked out to be. Like when people say they go to what is that? Is it Italy or France or something like that? They think they
Ooh.
say like it stinks, it's dirty. Where's the Eiffel Tower?
And
France?
Paris, yeah,
Paris,
yeah,
France?
yeah.
Yeah, they always say that like it's dirty and all of these things like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, see that's not the part that problem that bothered me because I'm from the hood, so niggas are dirty. But
Yeah,
but
but I'm saying
it's
they make it seem like it's so
oh
nice
yeah,
and
it's
beautiful and all of
regal
these
and
things. Yeah.
upscale. No, 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 no. See, I don't believe all of that. What I don't care uh about any of that. My whole thing is if I go somewhere to visit, I want to be treated well. And I don't believe going over to places like that, you're treated very well. Like at least here, if something bad happens to you, there's people that's gonna fight for you. If you go over there, we're gonna have to fight for you. They're not gonna care. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And that's
So
what I don't get about people. You know, when they go to these other countries and they try to conduct themselves as if they are in America. And I'm like, you're not in America. They got different rules. You can't conduct yourself the same way as you do over there. So if you get in a bind, you're gonna have to try to go to the embassy and try to get somebody to speak for you and try to
but it's
get the
gonna be the people that
president.
y'all talk bad about. It's gonna be the same people that y'all talk down about. The American people are gonna have to come over there and get your ass.
Yep.
So
like Brittany Griner.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing, bro. I was like, man, look, how are you going to act as if, you're over here and not abide by their rules? It's like, let's say you're driving in an area and the speed limit drops. You're telling me you're gonna be like, well, I was going 45 before. I can ignore the speed limit in this school zone. No, you're gonna go to jail. And that's the same thing with them. They say, well, because I was doing it over there, then I can do it over there. No, you can't.
You can't. Like all those women who go to Dubai and they don't realize, like, they're Islamic people. They're Islamic people that you can't go over there and just be ratchet. You going to jail if you be ratchet.
Yeah,
you might get killed if you be ratchet over
for
there.
real. And so, it's so dumb. It's so dumb to me because it's like, I don't even understand why a woman would want to go over there. I'm just being real serious. I know it sounds messed up.
Me either.
But you're a second-class citizen. Maybe because you can go over there as a colored person. You're a third-class citizen. Like you are put but you are on a dog level, and they're just appeasing you because you have money. They're trying to get you to spend your money, and that's it. So you can't go over there acting like, well, they're going to respect me, because they don't. So like that's why I said over here it's just it's better. It's not the best that it could be, but it's better than everywhere else. So
that's why I'm with you. I believe it. I'm like, bro, I could go to New York or California if I really want to do something different. It's a ton of places in America that I can go to enjoy myself. I don't have to actually leave the country to do some of these things, bro. If I want to skydive, I can do that here. If I want to climb a mountain, I can go do that here. If I want to hike, I can do that here. I don't need to go out the country. I mean, if I get to a certain status where I got a lot of money, where I just want to go over there, but it's not going to be totally different.
Yeah, I mean, you see that's another one of them big differences, dude. Money changes a lot of things. Like you can't enjoy, like you go over there. Let's say you go to Paris, right? You go over there with your $1,000 ass. I have $12,000 I'm spending on this trip. It's gonna be a trip that's probably not as good as you going to Orlando and going to Disney World.
People say it all the time. When people go overseas and they take these trips, they come back and sometimes they be like, "Oh man, I could have did that over here," or they gypped us on the trip. They didn't take us where they said it was. It's always I always hear little stories like that. I always hear little stories like that.
Yeah, but if you go over there and you are $100 million now, like Jay-Z money.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you can make something happen when you got that kind of money.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, if it's just an old regular me, it's the same as going. It's the same as just going somewhere in the United States that you don't normally go. Exactly. Like, just enjoy yourself. Take somebody that you like, and then y'all eat a little bit, and y'all go shopping or something, and then walk around some places that you know what I'm saying. Then come back home.
Exactly, because if, like you say, if you got a lot of money, man, you could just make something happen. Yeah. You can make the same thing happen over here that you can over there. It's no difference. The money is the difference.
Yeah. So, like, see, this goes into the question, bro. That money does something, and I understand it, but I've never been the kind of person that really just was like, you know what, I really want to have all this stuff, because I understand that no matter what level you go to, there's demons on every level, and what demons am I really willing to deal with? Like, I don't want to deal with the phone calls that everybody get when you have an exorbitant amount of money. I don't want to deal with everybody looking at you like you're the savior in their family. I don't want to be everybody's first resort.
Go to.
Yeah. Like, if something happens,
you turn to their bailout plan.
Why would you do that? Hey man, I got this idea. I want to start this record label. Hell no. No. Man, I cooked a real mean cheeseburger, bro. Let's start a restaurant. Nope. I don't want all of that mess. Nor do I want to have to deal with, I have so much money that I have to hire somebody to look at the end of being like in situations like people like Fat Joe was in, where now you got people that's stealing all of your money. I don't want to deal with those devils. I don't want to have to deal with, hey man, look, you got somebody breaking in your house and stealing all of your jewelry. I don't want, because niggas hunt. They hunt people. Like it's that's how Snoop Dogg just got robbed. They're hunting people like that because you have this exorbitant amount of money. I don't want those kind of devils in my life. I rather deal with regular old. Hey, I make $50,000-$60,000 a year and I'm good.
Because that shit actually brings you misery.
Yeah,
think about it.
Yeah, because I mean,
what's up, R?
I don't think people are equipped for certain things. Like, especially if you go from normal to abnormal, I don't think that your mind is equipped, because you look at, okay, well, if I grew up and my daddy was a truck driver and my mama was a teacher, you used to regular life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to start seeing all this other crazy stuff. It's like going to war. Like, your mind is not equipped for the drastic change in normalcy. Not now, the Diddy parties are normal.
I know, right?
Normal. That's not normal. That's gonna mess your mind up seeing all this ridiculous, stupid stuff. Or I guess saying, you know what kind of I'm a regular dude. I'm a pretty decent looking dude. I had some real weird stuff happen in my life, or things that I consider weird. I have never had, like, if you listen to some of these superstar stories, you be like, man, you going into the hotel and it's 3 women in there naked. I don't want that. No, I'm gonna trip out. I don't know how, because you don't know how to, after all this stuff, how you have a regular relationship with somebody.
See, I think like that too, because I feel like if I was to get a lot of money, it's certain situations I'm not gonna put myself in, because I'm gonna feel like this is a setup. Like you say, I go into a hotel room and there's 3 women in there. Oh, nah. We see it all the time where people come back. Even if you go in there and have a good time, let's say nothing goes on, y'all go in there and do your thing. Man, 10, 15 years later, they come back and say you was assaulting them, you was graping them, all kind of stories that came out.
Yeah.
And I would be just like you. I would be even more cautious if I was to get a lot of money.
Yeah. But then, what's the point? See, that it gets into that. I got all this money to do all this stuff, but I can't enjoy the money now to do all this stuff, because now I'm sitting here looking at everything like, hey man, this is a trap.
Now you cautious. You too cautious.
Yeah, I don't want to go out of the house. Yeah, and you end up being a weird hermit, because now you're looking at all this stuff, and it's not that you're being crazy. You just are aware that it's possible, and you don't want to mess up all this stuff.
Happen.
Yeah, like this is why one of the reasons, like, people said about Eminem, it looked crazy how Eminem has lived. The man has sold so many, 3 diamond albums, but the man doesn't do anything.
He be obscure. He be hiding out.
Yeah, and people look at, oh, you supposed to be this superstar, but he a regular dude.
Yep.
And it's hard, and it looks crazy to all of us, because you think he gonna end up being one of these people that end up, like a Diddy, because you made all this money, you have all this power, and you choose not to use it.
Or you go too far, or you think, or like you say in the beginning, it clouds your mind. Like Diddy, you start thinking you're on top of the world. Then you start feeling like you got some type of control over people.
Yeah.
Now you got these parties going on. You start thinking it's cool to be with men and women and
everything.
And man, it gets to a point. It's craziness. It's just total craziness.
Yeah, and that's why I said, bro, I promise you, I weighed all the stuff out, because I used to, like you say, used to do music. Is that, like, I started doing music when I was younger, and I was real good. And I really want to say at like either 20 or 21, I started kind of getting like little record deals rolling in, and I kind of looked at my life and I was like, I don't want that. And I just like, man, and everybody used to ask me, bro, why you just record? Because I had my own studio, so I just record music, and I'll never do anything with it. And I was just like, because I just love doing music, bro. I don't care if people don't hear. My homeboys are here, and I'll record other people and then let them do whatever they want to do with their music.
You sound just like me. That's how I was. I just had my own studio. People would come over, I would record. Man, it'd be people just who knew me from around the city. They like, man, can I record? I'm like, yeah, you can come through, record. I record their stuff. They did whatever they did with. One of my partners, he done pretty good for himself. He got music videos and he rap and he do a couple of different things now. But I can honestly say, like, I can take a little credit for that, to be like, bro, I really put you on, because when he first started rapping, he didn't he was like, "Man, do I sound good?" I was like, "Bro, you got a good voice on wax, bro. Like you got a good flow." You know, he was new to it, but now, bro, he used that same little flow. He got this same voice. But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like you, man. That's how I started. I was just good at that and just like doing
yeah. And see, like it was. I was good, but I had thought about it. I was just like, bro, I do not want to be in them situations. I knew too much, kind of tipping in, because I don't know if you ever heard of Field Mob,
Yeah, I heard the
but
film, huh?
like
Heard
that's
the film, huh?
they from the same city I'm from. So I used to
Okay,
hang around in like the same circles after a while. Especially one of the niggas I played football with.
okay.
So I was always cool with all these people, and I started kind of seeing stuff, and I was like, bro, these niggas on crack. These niggas, every time you say
They
it's
wild.
some, bruh.
Mm,
And I was just like, and the crazy part about it is, at first, like they were real regular dudes, and it got okay. Well, in the city now, they kind of run things in the city because of a name, they know they got a record deal. Everybody kissing their ass, but I'm just like, oh, this some regular dudes. Because again, I knew the niggas before that, so I wasn't like that. But I started seeing all this stuff, and I was just like, I don't want nothing to do with none of that. Cause again, there's always devils. And I'm used to a level of devils. The level that I've always lived in, I'm cool with that because I know how to maneuver through these obstacles. All right, so if this happened, then I can I'm kind of cool with that, and I'm cool with taking certain losses in this because I know this is gonna be something that's gonna come back to bite me in my ass. But I already got this. But new stuff, like the stuff that they were going through, I'm not prepared for that. Am I really
what was they
willing to
going through?
sacrifice my life? Hmm?
What was they going through?
It was just a lot. All right, so I don't tell people business, but all right, when they originally started doing all this stuff, like all right, so a lot of this junk got started from a radio station down here. It's 96.3. And then they started getting linked up with other people in the city and got messed up, signed with stupid contracts with the people that were down here. Then they got bigger contracts, but the people down here were kind of still holding on to them contracts that had them signed, basically signed their life away.
Okay.
And it was a lot of hands out for what was coming in, and they were already not they were incredibly famous or whatever. But whatever you come in, it's almost end up being like you working to pay them.
So they started
So
off in debt. They started out
yeah,
owing people.
yeah. So and it's a lot of, especially in Albany, there's a lot of buddy culture, and the buddies
Mm-hmm.
aren't successful. They're just hanger-ons, and you feel like you need to have the people like any successful person. Except for again, you're not quite that successful at that level yet, where you can bring all of these people up with you, and what he ended up doing is kind of bringing them down. So
I
there was
feel
a
you.
lot of that. But I mean, them dudes talented as all get out.
Yeah, I
But
liked them.
yeah, so it was a lot of that, and I started kind of peeping the junk, and I was like, man, I can't, like my mind can't wrap around. Like I really rather have a regular job than to be in debt to these people and still living like a regular dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather pay my landlord than to be paying the dude that own this store. You know what I mean?
Facts. I
Because
yeah.
he got me signed to this low budget contract, but my name is on the contract.
I can
So
say
it was kind
this
of like
when I
that.
I can say this. It was a point in my life, I was doing some little street stuff and I was making some money. But I don't know if money can really just bring you happiness. I could buy stuff, not like anything I wanted, but it was, because like at the time I was DJing, so I was buying some little pricey DJ equipment, lights, turntables, doing different things, going places,
Yeah.
uh, buying rims, got my truck painted and got the interior, all that shit done. But in the end, was like I truly happy? No, like it was a certain life that I wanted to live that it just money couldn't buy that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was almost something that had to be a lifestyle. I had to be a certain kind of way, and I wasn't that way. So no matter how much money I had, or no matter what I did, the money never manifested that type of lifestyle that I really wanted for myself. So I said, like, well, being rich bring you infinite happiness? I don't know. I think
No.
it can bring you momentary happiness, like in a moment at the time being. But
Hmm.
overall, by the time you get to the end of your life, will you be truly happy with everything? I'm not sure. When we see that from celebrities so much, that a lot of these people are just uber rich, and in the beginning, you see them on TV, they smiling, they happy, they buying cars, they on these shows, and then a couple of years in, they kind of disappear. Then they come back and they may say, "Oh, I had a drug addiction," or my life didn't go a certain way I wanted it to go, and things just kind of change for these people over time. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with them. But like I said, when these people say they have these drug addictions, it's like, why were you on drugs? If you were so rich and so happy, what made you get on a drug that would bring your mood down, that would change your ability to eat, change your ability to sleep, make you look bad? Because also when you have money, you want your appearance to be a certain way. And then once these people start taking these drugs, their appearances make them seem as if they're dead, they lose life. Also, to be rich a lot of these times for these people, they end up having to give up something to be rich, whether that's um, loyalty, their dignity, respect. Is something that they have to give up, and they always think it's cool to give that up. And then once they give it up, they're lifeless. You can even see it in their eyes when they take pictures. They seem like they're just gone in the head, you know. And that's why I say I just don't think money can just bring you infinite happiness. I think it can make you happy for a time being. Maybe you could buy something that you never bought, drove a car that you never drove, been somewhere that you never been. But overall, will it make you happy? I don't know. What say you or anybody else that may be listening? What are y'all thoughts on that? Do you think being rich can bring you infinite happiness? Or says M, because we was talking about Eminem earlier. He says M is obviously working on his craft. He got the wild shit out of the system. Now he just grinds and chills occasionally. That's what's up, man. Uh-oh. Tamika. What's up, Tamika? Welcome to the show. Tamika says happiness comes from within oneself, not money. Exactly. You have to have something actually, like I say, to me, it was a lifestyle. If whatever your lifestyle, let's say if you're a Christian, you know, money could make you a better Christian. Only practicing reading the Bible, living that lifestyle will make you a better Christian, which will in return make you happy. So when people want to be truly happy, it's just a lifestyle. Because people who are broke, even in your family. These people, they don't have money. They're not rich. And they happy. They're more happy than you are. You like, he's broke. Or she's broke. She live in the projects. But man, she done went on a trip. She got pictures on her Facebook. She done been to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff, it just comes with a lifestyle and how you want to live. Money doesn't bring you anything. I agree. What's up, Jeff Will? Appreciate you coming through, man. Welcome to the show. He says, rarely do people leverage their riches to improve their quality of life. Luxury does not equal quality of life. Absolutely true. But you notice how many of them think that these riches and luxury does equate to quality of life? That's why they buy the big houses, they buy these extravagant cars. They have tons of women around them when it comes to men. Or the women, they buy like these extravagant clothes that nobody else can buy. And they think, oh, this is going to change my life. But once you take the clothes off and you're not in the car, what do you have? Nothing. Or if you're in this big, nice house, if you're there alone, What do you have? Nothing. Some people actually need to be with somebody. Maybe you wanna have a nice companion that you can share life events with. You can speak to freely. You can bounce thoughts off of them without any judgment. It's all of these things that come along with that. Tamika says, still happy. Facts. You can still be happy. Or says, I don't love money like most people, so I really don't know. But the few people I respect would keep me in check if I did go down the fucked up road because they know I would check their asses. Yep. And that's true. All most people, they not money people. They don't focus on money. That's not their end goal. That's not the end game, is to be rich. And then you have others who that's all they focus on. I gotta be rich, I gotta have some money. I wanna go on these trips. I wanna enjoy life a certain way, and I need that. I just have to have it. And if they don't have it, then they're miserable. But other people, they don't need it. Some people are good with some good food. I got a partner, bro. He take trips, but all he talk about is the food. He a foodie. He just like, man, I went over here. They had this kind of food. He don't talk about the events he went to. He don't talk about what he did on these trips. All he talks about is the food. That's it. He just wants to eat food. So I think it's different things for different people. But I don't know what happened to Charles. I'm gonna put this link down here in this chat box if anybody want to come up and talk to me. Say, I told you. Or it says, I told you I just want to charter flights. You just want to charter flight. That's all you want to do? Hey, some people, that's all they want to do. Me personally, I wouldn't mind a PJ where I could just call up my pilot and say, man, take me here and take me there. That would make me happy. I'm just being honest with you. That would make me happy. Money would make me happy too. I'm not gonna lie. I think with money, I wouldn't be the type of person to just blow my money on any and everything. It's just little things that I would buy to make myself happy or improve my life. Also, the money would help me improve the life of others around me. That type of stuff would make me happy, like buying my mom them something, or my brother, or my aunts and uncles, or some cousins who, are well intentioned, but they just don't have enough money to do what they want to do. Maybe some cousins that want to go to college, but they don't have the money and they actually want to do something like go for a degree or be a doctor or something that they didn't think that they could afford. If I was able to provide that for them, I wouldn't mind. Like that type of stuff would make me happy in the end. And I think a lot of people are like that as well. I think a lot of people, what makes them happy is making other people happy. That's why you have some people who go out and they like to go overseas, or they like to go to different areas around the US, or help the homeless and things. Like Christians, a lot of Christian people, they like to help the homeless. They like to help the less fortunate. That brings them joy. The older women in the church, what brings them joy is cooking for you. They'll cook a meal and they are just as excited as you eating it. They like, baby, try this. I made some pie. I got some chicken over here. This, and that. And you like, damn, this look good. And she like, it look good. Try it, baby. You eat it. You like, man, this is good. You tell her it's good, and that just made her day. So yeah, when it comes to this, what do y'all actually think? Does being rich bring you infinite happiness? Jeff Will says, what about the intangible things that money can't buy? The intangible things, as far as like what? You give me an example. I know where you're going, but you give me an example, Jeff. Says that we'll all yearn for like true fulfillment, which is different for everyone, of course. True purpose and mission. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. Everybody's different. The intangible things. That's why I say helping the less fortunate. Things that money can't buy. So yeah, you tell me. I want to hear from you. That's what I'm really trying to hear from. I know what I'm thinking, but I want to hear what y'all are thinking. It didn't like my face, LOL. My Wi-Fi ain't. You good, Charles? I didn't see anything wrong with your video, bro. Your video was perfectly clear on my end. Maybe on your end it was different, but on my end it was perfectly fine. I didn't see you wasn't glitching or anything. Maybe it was on your end, like I say, but on my end it wasn't glitching at all. When you go back and check the replay, you'll see like, bro, you was perfect the whole time. No, nothing was wrong. Jeff say like health. Yeah. Yes, like health. Health. You could have cancer. You could have anything. You can cure it with money. But some people don't care about the money. Some people just like to work out, and that can improve their lives. Because that's kind of the journey that I've been on. I just like to work out. I like my downtime. I like my me time. I like to be by myself. Actually, before I came on, I was reading a book. I've gotten more into reading books again. I used to read books, around high school and a little bit after. I read a book here and there. But now I have a lot of free time and time to myself. Either if I'm not working or something, I try to go work out or I try to read a book or whatever it is. Actually, one of the books I'm reading right now, I read it before, but I'm just reading it again because I like the things involved in it. But I'll let y'all know what I'm reading. I mean, a lot of y'all probably already read it. I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power. I'm reading it again. I like the tales in it, which aren't tales. It's true. A lot of them are true. Some of them are tales, but for the most part, they true. Certain ways to live your life by. And one of the things that I'm fascinated about, uh, 48 Laws of Power, is that some things it seems like it's deceitful, and some people don't believe in some of the tactics that the 48 Laws of Power comes with. But it's almost a certain way that you actually do have to conduct yourself to be successful in this life. Playing dumber than your mark, you know, not talking too much, all of these different principles that's in this book, just which some people would say is mean, deceitful, are actually things that you have to conduct your life by. Like, for example, if you're too nice, most people who are too nice, and which I've been that way, people actually take advantage of you. People actually treat you differently than what you think you should be treated. Charles say, I like helping people, but I don't like people. We know you don't like people. But I mean, look, it's good that you like helping people. It's a lot of people that like helping people but don't like people. That's why some people just get their money. They want to help people, but they don't want to fool with you. And I get that because people are fickle. People are crazy. I totally understand. Or also says, yeah, you basically have to be a sociopath in most cases. Facts. Jeff says investing in physical and mental health for longevity. Yep, that's what you have to do. And you see some of the rich people who do invest in their physical and mental health for the longevity. You see them all the way up until they get old. They're happy. They always got a smile on their face. They're always out in the public. You always see them. You never hear anything bad about them. And then when they have these interviews and they talk about their lifestyle, they're like, oh, yeah, I just, in my downtime, I read books. I go to the spa. I have a therapist. I work out. I just enjoy friends and family. They say stuff like that. And those are the people who are well grounded. If you have a lot of money, you have to be well grounded. If you get the money and you all over the place, or you think that you're better than people, or you're trying to live beyond your means, in the end, it's not going to serve you well. You're not going to be happy. And I'm not talking like I'm somebody who's been rich. I'm just talking about what I see. We see it. We see people who are not happy and they're rich. We see it a lot. R says, yeah, you basically have to be a. Oh, okay. I read that one. Jeff says it teaches you what you will deal with in the real world. Exactly. It definitely does, bro. It definitely does. That's a real world book. You know, people used to always tell me to read it, man. You should read this book. And I always thought, man, that's like an evil book. I used to think that. But no, you actually have to conduct yourself to the principles of that book. Look at some of the most successful people. Ask them what is one of the books they read. I guarantee you they're gonna say 48 Laws of Power. The book is about human nature. It's life. It's not bad. Yep. True. Jeff Will says a lot of the old Western movies have 48 law lessons in them. Yep. Once you read that book, you start to see a lot of those elements. And I mean, almost anything, like from movies to successful people. For me, it's always the successful people. Anytime I see people who are successful when it comes to maybe online YouTube, or when it comes to actors, actresses, kings, queens, presidents, prominent people who are out there, just kind of look at them. Watch an interview or two about them. And I guarantee you they're going to be using one of those principles that's in that book. Or when you hear their life stories, you're like, oh man, that's some 48 laws of power shit right there. Maybe they hadn't read the book at that time, but they conducted themselves in that way. R says, I would probably move to Germany. The Autobahn is the shit. I heard. Autobahn don't have a speed limit, right? You can just fly. You can just go. It may have like a minimal speed limit, I'm guessing, but I think you can just read it. You say I never read it, but can probably guess it. If I'm on my serious side, which is rare, I'm a dick. Just read it, man. It's a good book. You kind of get caught up in it. It gives you the principles of the law, then it gives you the reverse side of the law. You know how it can affect you negatively if you don't use it properly. So it gives you a contrast of both sides of the law. Yeah, I know these stupid headphones be cutting off from time to time. I don't know why it does that. It never used to do that. Now it just cuts off and cuts back on. Maybe I just need to get some new ones. Maybe the battery is going bad. I don't know. Show y'all this clip.
What was it like growing up in Grays? Talk a bit about your family.
I'm from Grays in Essex. Grays is as it sounds. I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I fitted in. And the only way that it seemed possible that I would be happy seemed to be this kind of acquisitive, individualistic narrative. Get used to hearing that word from me. So, like, what I thought was, if you want to be happy, you've got to become a successful person, you've got to acquire stuff, you've got to have people adore you, you've got to become glamorous. Because I felt small, I felt alienated, alone, and I felt very, very powerless in Grays. Then what happened was, I then experienced the things that I was culturally indoctrinated to believe would be a kind of salvation. Fame, fortune, attention, limitless fellatio if required. And yet, salvation did not come. You know, when I went back to where I was from, when I got there was a sort of a sense of despair that I wasn't really prepared for. The place I'd come from had deteriorated, it had become worse. Every shop replaced by betting shops and pound shops and talk of food banks and talk of UKIP. And I thought, oh no, there is a massive despair. The alienation that I felt on a personal level is actually a social problem. And we're culturally trying to solve it in the way that I tried to solve it as an individual, by lacquering it in glamour, by trying to acquire money, by consuming. So I thought, is there anything you can do about that, Russell, as a person who talks for a living? And then I thought, yeah, talk about that and then write a book about it, and then I've done it.
Happiness.
It's complex, right? And it's deceiving at times, you know, because people think the two equate,
Yes.
you know, to each other, and they don't, right?
You have a lot of money.
It's up, yeah.
And
I have a lot of happiness, but that doesn't mean that the two equate to each other.
has your happiness risen at the same amount as your bank account?
No, that's the thing. They don't
They don't equate, or they're not tied in any way.
They're not tied
or,
to each other.
Wow.
I mean, it allows you freedom and it allows you to go places where you can smile and look at the sunset and things like that. That's what you choose to do and you enjoy to do.
Right.
But there are a lot of people with tons of money who aren't happy because either they become a prisoner of their money,
right,
or they become so consumed with getting money that they don't allow time for happiness.
right.
Life is about balance, right? You have to have some type of balance. You have like time for work and it's time for play. And if you don't allow these two things to coexist, you have.
Exactly. Like he said.
Now you're talking about.
Like he said, that money, it doesn't bring you happiness. So you can go places and do things that you probably could have never done, but you're not happy. And you probably never will be happy if that's the case. But some people, you know, like I say, they think that the money is going to bring them happiness, and it just doesn't. Happiness for me would be some money. I don't have to be rich. Some money, a family. Because when I say that, that's because what I've seen a 2-parent household. I've seen 2 people raise kids and go on to retire and live their lives. Like, I've seen all of this. So I would like to have that. That would make me happy. Jeff says there is a Pandora's box we must be careful with when it comes to achieving happiness. Yep. The Pandora's box. Because once you open it, you can't close it. Because when you open it, it's more than what you think is going to come out of it. It's more, you're going to have to take the good with the bad. If you want to be famous, then you got to take the paparazzi that comes with it. You got to take the stalkers. You got to take the obsessive people. You got to take people who think that you owe them something. Family members who think that, okay, now you're supposed to take care of everybody. All of my problems belong to you now because you're rich. Can you truly be happy if you're rich? On the flip side of that, I actually, not for most, but for some, I think you can be happy if you're rich. I think it's actual people, if they are rich, They can be happy, infinitely happy. They don't need anybody. They don't need no companionship. They don't need family. They don't need friends. They don't need none of that. They just need the money and they can be happy. And because these people don't mind paying for happiness, whether it's sex, whether it's family, whether it's friends, they don't mind. They don't care if you faking it. They don't care. They just don't want to be broke. I truly, truly believe that it's people like that. And you see those people as well. They're rich, famous, and they're, I mean, some of the most, just the meanest people that you've ever known. Look at some of the people throughout history, some of the kings and queens. Have you ever read or watched maybe a documentary or anything about some of those kings and queens of Europe? Man, those people were evil. They would kill family members, cousins, kids, spouses, because they didn't want to lose power. They wanted to be rich and powerful. That's all they cared about. That's what made them happy, being rich and powerful. Nobody can stop me. If you're in my way, I'm going to cut you down. If I think you're threatening to ascend the throne, I'm going to cut you down. That's what's going to make me happy. I need to be in the position of power at all times. Nothing needs to change for me at all. Is it a such thing as true happiness? Is that a myth? Can you be truly happy whether you're rich or poor? Can you be truly happy whether you're rich or poor? You crazy. You said money would bring me a hell of a lot less stress. I'm good with being okay. Yeah. Some people they want to be able to take care of their needs. They don't need to be rich. They don't need to be uber wealthy. Some of the people that I hung with in the streets, they still to this day, they strive to be uber wealthy. They got money like a mug now. They've skirted all of the laws. They've skirted the jail time. They living in a big city now, but they still strive to be on a certain level. They want to be in the realm of people where they can just go out and just buy anything that they want, do anything that they want. It's not enough. Even on the level that they own, they got a nice house with a pool, they got the kids, the family. It's not enough. R says, Charles says, if you are rich, then 99% of the things in your life are going to be financially transactional. And I believe that you have to be a special kind of psychopath to be okay with I'm guessing that, and be happy. Yep. When you get to that level and you're rich, everything is going to be transactional. Because that's the way that people look at you now. You're not just my cousin, Charles. You're not just my uncle, Charles. You're not just my friend, Charles. Now you're my friend, uncle, cousin Charles that has money. So guess what? Whenever I get in the bind, you get in the bind. Whenever I need money, you need money. But you have the money, so I need your money. Oh, I can do whatever I want. If money problems arise, you got me. Still love you, but the financial part of my life is on you now. Yes, you got to be a special kind of psychopath to deal with that and be happy. Some people are okay with that. Honestly, to be honest with you, like I say, I like helping. I would like to help my family and friends out. To a certain extent, I would almost feel as if it's my obligation to take care of my, not necessarily my friends, but my family. Because I don't have too many family members that's like just pieces of shit. I got some, but I would still take care of them as well. But for the most part, some of my family who want to do things or have something better for their lives, I honestly don't think I would mind. Even though some of them would probably just be taking advantage of me. But it's hard for me to be against somebody who actually wants to improve their life. If they see me as an opportunity, like, man, I'm gonna ask my cousin, can I open up this business that I always been trying to run? I'm gonna always go take I want to take these classes that I always been trying to take. Let me ask him if he'll fund that. It'll be hard for me to say no to that, bro. Now, if I got a cousin that say he want to get some drugs or something stupid like that, definitely not. But see, that's where that whole nice part that I was talking about earlier, that's where they would get me. Because if they came to me with a proposition that they were actually trying to do something, I think they would get me every time. Not every time. The first time or two, I hook them up. But after that, and I realized they were full of it, I wouldn't go for it anymore. I definitely wouldn't. Jeff says too much fun and happy experiences can burn out your dopamine receptors to the point where nothing can make them happy. They done did everything under the sun and moon. Yup. People like Diddy and all of these other celebrities. Like Diddy, get to a point, you just a regular heterosexual male. Now you're a heterosexual male with money. Now you done banged all of these fine chicks that's rappers and singers, models. That ain't enough. What can money get me now? Let me go find some men. Let me go find some young men. Okay, let me have some threesomes. Let me have some foursomes. Let me have some orgies. Then it gets to the point, just like I was reading in some of the other videos that I used to do about Diddy, having sex with people ain't enough. Now, you need to actually watch people. You have to watch. I think when you get to the point where watching people to have sex will get you off, that's a different kind of beast. Because me personally, I just can't see myself having just want to watch somebody have sex. I have to partake in the sex. Watching ain't enough. But I think he's so far removed. He's done it all, experienced it all. Now he wants to see it. Then they start getting into the whole thing because, like Kanye, he had a tweet earlier. They want to watch their wives have sex. They want to watch them get gang banged. They want to watch all of this crazy stuff. That's the only way that they're going to be happy. That's insane. So like you say, the dopamine receptors can get to a point where it's not enough. They just burn out. You need more and more and more and more and more. R says I'm the happiest MF in the world when I guess you say when they go up. You crazy, bro. If I ever won the lotto and it was a good lick, I would give everyone that I'm cool with $1 million and tell them it's on you and never ask them for shit. You know what's funny? To a certain extent, I agree with that, bro. To a certain extent, I agree with that. If I was the person who won the $1 billion, I would give some family members. I would do the cash advance because I think the cash. If let's say if it was $1 billion, you'll probably get like 492 million, something like that, cash. Because I think that's what that person got, like 492 million. I would give some family members straight $1 million cash, bro, and say, "Look, don't ask me for nothing. This it. So if you fuck this up, it's on you." But it would be certain family members that I would give that to. The smart ones or the ones who I think had ambitions, I would give them $1 million and say, "That's it. Don't ask me for nothing else." Others who I was just on some bullshit, I'd probably give them 100, 200,000 and say, "Look, that's on you. Don't ask me for nothing else." I wouldn't give them no $1 million. You're gonna have to work with this because I can't. You'll be the person that get the $1 million and go out and buy a $500,000 car and buy a $200,000 house, and then you can't even start a legitimate business with the rest of the money. So to a certain extent, I agree with you on that, bro. I definitely do. You say Diddy got turned out one day by Clive Davis. Yeah, that's what's been said. A lot of these dudes got turned out by Diddy as well. He became the person that turns people out. Charles says when you're rich, saying no is not an option. Or to the person you said no to, you're the devil because they know you got it. Yep. Saying no is not an option when you become rich. People will hate you. Hell, people will hate you now. If you got a good job and they see that you have a nice house and a car and they ask you for something and you say you don't got it, they get mad at you. They get pissed off at you. They get pissed off at you. My bad. Headphones went dead again. I might have to get some new headphones, man. I could use my earbuds too. Let me see. Let me see if I can use my earbuds. If they still in here. If not, I ain't gonna fool with it. I ain't trying to hook them up. Bluetooth. Oh, they is in there. They always get connected to my phone. Hold up. I'm finna use my earbuds because I'm tired of them fucking disconnecting. Oops, wrong ones. I didn't connect it to the. Hold up, y'all. Give me a second. Y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm trying to connect these fucking. Let's see. Come on now. All right, now they connected. Good. Or say no. Hold on. Did I read your comment, Charles? Oh yeah, I did. Or says no is my favorite word now. I love saying no to hoes. Make my nipples hard. You crazy, bro. Jeff Will says, nowadays, for most people, being rich or happy is based on living like a celebrity. Yup. Like I just told you, my friend. At this point, he can get out the game. He can move on. He can do something legit, and which I think he is, but he's still in the game. So it's like they see these celebrities. And I ain't gonna put his business out there because it would connect too many dots and people would probably figure out who he is. But some of the other people that he's connected to with some of our other friends who, yeah, I'm not gonna say it either. But he wants to live a lifestyle like they do. But you can't live the lifestyle like they do because what they do is legit. They're a very famous individual. They have money. You just around them because we grew up together. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that either. But basically, he wants to live the same lifestyle as this other person. Not necessarily the same lifestyle, but he probably sees the amounts of money that he spends, where he goes, the jets that he takes, all of these different things. And he wants that. But he wants that to say, like, oh, I did this on my own. You know, I'm not in whoever this, I'm not going to say what his profession, I'm not that type of individual. I'm going to just leave that alone because I want to say something so bad it just keeps wanting to come out my mouth, and I'm not gonna say it. R says, the few things that would save me from being stupid, I have a fear of drugs. I ran through women, and I'm not flashy, so I got most of the stupid shit out of my system. Or see the stupid beforehand. Yeah, some people get money and then they just whatever their desires are, it just balloons. It just expands. It gets even bigger. So you got a fear of drugs. See, I used to be addicted to drink because that's a thing in Texas. I remember when I was in the streets and doing whatever, I had some drink. I wouldn't say just addicted, but I did. I took it from time to time. I would find myself like sleep in my car. My friend, found me sleep before, uh, and I smoked a lot of weed. So I don't smoke. I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink anymore. And if you have those vices, going into being a rich person, that would just get worse. That would just get worse. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be thinking to myself now, whenever I get older and I get free of having to work or having to report to somebody in some way or being subject to some type of drug test, I could see myself having a little toke of something. But as of right now, it's not on my mind. I haven't smoked in I don't know how long. I don't even know what it tastes like anymore. But it's so when I drive past people or when I'm in my truck and I'm riding down the road, I can smell people smoke. Like it's even stronger to me than it was when I smoked because I don't smoke now. So when I'm driving past people, I'm like, man, they in there smoking. It's so loud. It's so strong to me. I can instantly smell it. You know. But yeah, if you have those vices going into being rich, you're gonna have some issues. It's gonna cause you more problems than anything else. And really, the drugs, before you even get rich, the drugs, they don't even make you happy. That stuff is like a momentary happiness. Drinking, drug, it's just sex, it's just momentary. I remember my thing was to just get high and play my game or watch a good movie or TV show. Cause right now I got a fire stick. Okay. All y'all know about this fire stick stuff. I've been having this thing for I don't know how long. I can watch movies, TV show, all of it for free. I can watch it all. Netflix, everything. It doesn't matter. So if I had that now, man, I'm telling you, I would just keep firing up this Xbox and this PlayStation. And if I wasn't doing that, then I'm trying to find a good movie on TV, and I would just be sitting on the couch. And then I would always have an excuse. Oh, I'm going to Shreveport, or I'm going to Dallas. Let me roll up a good, and I'm smoking a blunt all the way. But once I get there and the high is over, that's it. Then you get to a point where you can smoke so much weed or drink so much where it doesn't. You have to have even more weed to get high. I used to go to the boat. I try to smoke on my way down there and enjoy myself while I'm pulling on the slot machine or on the craps table. After 10 or 15 minutes, I'm not even high no more because my tolerance is built up so much. Now I'm just there. So it's nothing. It's just a waste of time. Nothing's happening. I'm not high. And I didn't used to like to keep no weed in my car. So once I smoked that was pretty much it, unless I smoked half up there and then half back. Because I was paranoid about getting pulled over and getting caught. Even the cars. My dad gave me the truck. I had it in high school. I graduated with it. Nice truck, man. Chevy Silverado with the 350. Everybody know about the 350. Put the pipes on it. Put the rims on there. I had like some of the biggest rims at the time. I put some 26s on it. I put the black and gray ostrich seats in it. It was the gray inserts, ostrich, the roof, ostrich. I had ostrich in there. I put black carpet in there. After I pulled it out the shop, rolled it for about 2 or 3 months. You know, some hot, in Texas, we got Juneteenth. That was still is a big thing. I hated they even made that a federal holiday because it's messed up now. But in Texas, that's a big thing. You pull out your best whip on Juneteenth, you ride it, you get in the parade, you drive around town. After I did all that, I'm not happy no more. That's it. You do it, that's it. It's gone. So drugs, buying stuff, it doesn't really make me happy. Only thing that would really make me happy when I had money to buy, like I say, would be to help people. And I like electronics. So games, computers, digital cameras, TVs, any type of just new gadgetry, any new gadgets, that type of stuff would always excite me. I was always up on gadgets and electronics. If I had any of those things, I would just be so excited. Like when I bought this computer, I had an old Mac for the longest of times. And if anybody know anything about Macs, you can have a Mac for years. I used to have PCs and I loved them. But they end up having viruses. They get janky. You start having all of these files start piling up on there. No matter whether you delete them or not, it's stuff that's in the cache. It's a mess. Only reason why I had to get rid of my old Mac was because it got outdated. They wouldn't even update it anymore. So I got a new one. I don't have no issues. I do whatever I want on her, I got this big ass screen. That way I don't have to put my glasses on. And I'm standing, you see how close I am to this big ass screen. So Yeah. This type of stuff makes me happy. And the funny thing is, because I was talking to somebody and they probably still on here listening, but I was talking to this person about that and how I remember back then when the internet first came out, we talking about dial-up modems and everything, man. People used to have the digital cameras, the camcorders that had the little strap on there, and you would hold it, and you could pull out the little view where you could see it. You could see what you was recording. I used to do skits, funny videos, memes. I used to edit music. Man, I started doing music on this computer. I started doing mixtape covers. I started burning CDs. I started doing mixed CDs. I was DJing. And I had a few people who used to discourage me because they would make fun of me like, man, you always on your computer. You always on there talking to somebody. I had one of my cousins even called me an internet pimp. Because, back then it was like people would make fun of you if you was like online talking to women and stuff like that, right? That stuff used to just make me discouraged. I didn't even want to tell anybody some of the stuff I was doing on my computer. I didn't even tell nobody about the music that I used to make for the longest because people would discourage you about, like, man, you ain't going nowhere, man. You really think you doing something? You got your beats, especially when you first start making beats, they suck. So, anybody hear them, they gonna laugh their ass off. So I never used to tell anybody about me making beats. I used to be in there recording. I bought a mic. I remember in the first early days of eBay, I bought a mic. That stuff used to take weeks to get to your house. I bet y'all don't remember this. Only website you could trust was eBay. You could buy stuff from other websites, but it wasn't for sure that you was going to get it. You might get it, you might not. Then eBay came out and they had PayPal. If you didn't get it, you could get your money back. But that stuff would take weeks. But yeah, I started doing that. I started recording myself. I was in there rapping. I had music. Then finally, one day, I just got bold enough to tell some of my friends that came over there. Some of them thought it was a little bit funny. But then they just kind of was like, man, we want to rap too. We want to do this. I'm like, oh, okay. So they got into it. By that time, I should have really perfected my craft, but I was still kind of nervous about them. Then a couple of my friends, they ended up starting DJing and things like that. And in a way, that kind of discouraged me. Not really, but it just kind of made me feel like now they just taking on my life. So I didn't want to, it wasn't exciting to me no more because I felt like they was just doing what I was doing. So that's why I wish I wouldn't have let a lot of things hinder me when it comes to that. Because right now I could tell you I would be all of these Desi Banks, I would be up there with them. I would be, man, I'm telling you, I'll probably be beyond them. Because the shit I was doing was people, man, especially when I had my camcorder. When I used to show people what was on there, they would be, man, one of my friends to this day, his dad, they showed it to his dad, and his dad still brings these skits up. Cause his dad gets drunk and he will laugh his ass off when he talk about them skits. He said, he'd be like, what did you say? Remember you was rapping and Ah. I got off track, man. Let me get back on track. All says if your friend is around 40 and still jelly of other mofos, something ain't right in his head. Nah, he wasn't jealous of him. I think you're talking about my partner. He wasn't jealous of him. He just wanna live like he living. His lifestyle his lifestyle lets him live a certain kind of way, which is good. Like I say, he got a family, a nice house, he got the pool, cars, all of that stuff. But my other friend, like, he's up there. Like, this dude makes money because of his profession. He is wealthy, bro. Wealthy. But the other friend who's doing the low level activity, he's trying to be like him, and it's not the same. That's why I say he's not satisfied. And that's because he sees him and he thinks that he can get to that level, which he probably can, but he should be fine where he's at, bro. He has a lot more than a lot of people have. But for some reason he can't get that out of his head. He ain't jealous of him because they hang together. So, he probably goes and see him at the Gucci store, at the Louis store, buying certain things. And he can buy stuff too, but not like him. He can buy one bag. The other friend can buy 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. Couple of shirts. He can probably buy a bag, a shirt, pair of pants. That's it. Some shoes. It's levels. Or say, I don't really consider weed a drug. I just don't want to be that damn happy and then be chasing that shit forever. I'm going to tell you, bro, weed is a drug. I used to try to say that shit too. Weed is a drug. I'm sorry. Weed is a drug, but it's all in the way that you use it. That's it. Like if I had never abused it to the point where my tolerance was built up so high, where I just used it, like let's say I would work all week and then come home on the weekends and have me something to smoke, and then during the week I really wouldn't smoke to go to work. That would have been fine. But when you using it every day and you just using it just to get high, when you get to the point where you just want to get high, I just want to smoke. I just want to get high. Or when you walk in the house, the first thing you throw the keys down and you cut the shower on and you start rolling up a blunt. So whenever you get out the shower, you can smoke. And when you start doing shit like that, it's just a drug. It's just a drug. Let me show y'all another clip while I run to the bathroom real quick.
When people say, oh, I want to be like you, I want to be an actor, I want to look like you, the question I always ask them is why? Like, really, why? And people, and especially in America, this idea of fame, that to be famous means that you're successful, that you're happy.
When How I Met Your Mother first went on the air, I ran into an actress that I knew, and she said, "Are you just like so happy all the time?" And I remember thinking, does she really think that when CBS picked up the show, it left me with an inability to feel anything other than unbridled joy? But the joke was on me because I kind of thought it would.
Why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie Gaga hybrid person. Why are you unhappy?
I was a millionaire. I had beautiful women in my life. I had cars, a house, an incredible, a solid gold career, and a future. And yet, on a daily basis, I wanted to commit suicide.
And when you have all this stuff, it doesn't mean you're happy.
A lot of people think getting famous will save you, that it will grant you the life you feel you're owed and spare you certain indignities. I was pretty bummed to realize that rather than lessening or eliminating my insecurities and least attractive qualities, it basically poured fertilizer on them.
Has your happiness risen at the same amount as your bank account?
No. That's the thing. They don't
equate, or they're not tied in any way.
They're not tied to each other.
Wow.
I mean, it allows you freedom and it allows you to go places where you can smile and look at the sunset and things like that. That's what you choose to do and you enjoy to do.
Right.
But there are a lot of people with tons of money who are unhappy.
We are told that if we're beautiful, if we're skinny, if we're successful, famous, if we fit in, if everyone loves us, that we'll be happy. But that's not entirely true. But the most important journey I think all of us will go through is the journey in ourselves, to find our truth, to find who we are and what makes us happy.
So what did I do? I started to say no. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm not taking that picture. I'm not going to that event. I'm not standing by that because that's not what I stand for. And slowly but surely, I remembered who I am. And then you go home and you look in the mirror and you're like, yes, I can go to bed with you every night. Because that person, I know that person. That person has balls. That person has integrity. That person has an opinion.
And why do you want to do anything you do? It should not be motivated by something that you think is going to make fulfillment comes from within you, by being authentic to yourself, not chasing fame.
Life is about balance, right? You have to have some type of balance. You have like time for work and it's time for play. And if you don't allow these two things to coexist, you have an imbalance.
Here, I think one check, one is $1 million. But here, no peace. That $1 million will not bring inner peace, happiness. More frustration. This money bring more frustration, more suspicion, more anxiety, or sometimes more jealous then. So inner peace is the ultimate source of happiness, joyfulness. So I think people do not understand that.
Are you a rich man?
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I want to show y'all one more clip before I get off of here. I ain't going to be on here too much longer. I'm going to show y'all this clip. It was from Drink Champs, and they had Will Smith on there earlier. And he was talking about this. I'm going to show y'all this clip.
Right? Like you could be too high. Where you get so high that you realize literally none of the stuff can make you happy. Right. After you can get to the end of the material world. You get to the end of money. You get to the end of sex. You get to the end of fame. You have so much, and then you like go off of a cliff into the same kind of abyss that you'd be scared of slipping into at rock bottom. Right? Where life loses all of its ability to sustain and please you. And then the only thing that's left, the same thing at rock bottom, the only thing that's left at cliff top is you have to find what you're actually looking for, and what you're actually looking for is you. You're looking for you. You're running around. Right? When you like a woman and you like being with a woman, it's because you like how you feel. Right. You like what's happening inside of you. When you have money, it's like, yeah, it's cool to buy things, but it's not the money. You like how you feel inside. It's unleashing a feeling inside. And at rock bottom and at cliff top, what you have to learn how to do is generate that feeling without anything external. You have to learn how to like you so much that you like being alive so much that you bring positive energy that's not generated by stuff, right? Because stuff is coming and going. Right. Like people are coming and going. Everything you have and everybody you love is going to rise and fall in your life. The place that we have to find is a spiritual place where we are good with us. We trust us. I trust myself. I trust God, and I trust life, that whatever happens, I'm going to make happy out of it. I don't need specific things to happen.
See, and I think what he was also talking about was that balance, because he said you could get to the top, you could fall off that cliff, or you could be at the bottom and you could fall off the cliff. So I think it's right. It's a sweet spot in there where we have to be. Once you get in that sweet spot, then you can be happy. You may think that, I need to I'm in the sweet spot, but you don't know you in the sweet spot. So you think I need to go above and beyond. I need to be at the top. I need to be at the pinnacle. But that won't be enough. But you could be at the very bottom and still fall off. That's why I say even some of the broke people, you know, they go into drugs and all of these bad habits that just ruins their lives. Some of the most happiest people I know, they don't do drugs, they don't do anything. They go to a regular 9 to 5. They got their kids, their wife. I see them playing the game whenever I get on there, and they get in the chat room with them. You can hear their kids in the background, their wife back there cooking. They talking about taking a trip. So yeah. Say I have shit that I have not touched or barely touched, like that gimbal. I'm not a visually creative person, but I brought that shit. Maybe you should try it. You ain't got to put it online or put it out there. You should just try it. Just mess with it. But yeah, that's pretty much is what I wanted to talk about tonight. I had a few more people come through. Some new faces. I think some of them may have been here. Maybe they watch from time to time. I just haven't paid attention to them. But hopefully they'll come back. I think Jeff, he'll come back. He was very interactive. I appreciated that. Appreciate it. Charles, he came up. He went back down, but he didn't have to because he was looking good. It wasn't any issues with his camera. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate, I think somebody else, Tamika, she came through. She was new to the channel. It's always good to have a female on her, a different voice, you know, somebody with a different opinion. Appreciate that as well. So yeah, man. If anybody got anything else to say, I'm just gonna leave it there. Charles says my utopia is a 3 to 4 bedroom house on a half acre, 2 puppies, a skunk, 2 to 3 cars, a bike, and a low maintenance mofo with a donk, and I'm good to go. See, that will make you happy. I want to have me a dog. I need another dog. I already told y'all a story about my dog. I need another dog. Yep. Another house. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna get me a bike as well. I had I guess you would call a donk. I had a donk before, so I mean I wouldn't mind just to cruise in sometime. That would be something with my old lady. You know what I'm saying? If I had a wife or something, yeah, we would go, we go get in the old school and ride around. So yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I agree with you on that. So, like I say, if anybody comes back and watches this video later on, the question is, will being rich bring you infinite happiness? Leave your comments, questions at the bottom of this video. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Say about bike, I mean a 3-wheeler. I got one of them. I got a 4-wheeler and a side by side. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through. And as always, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.